Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking you through the movies that I watched this month and what I thought about them, what I rated them, and these are all logged on Letterboxd in case you're interested. I'll try and link that down below, but without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, first up, I watched Silent Night. I was kind of feeling a little bit spooky. I thought that the premise of this was really interesting. I don't think I can say much because it will all be a spoiler, but let's just say that there is a kid that's has different views from their family about an event that is going to happen. Yeah, in the end it gets weird. I don't want to spoil anything, I'm really sorry. But I only gave it a 2 stars just because the acting was so bad. Like the acting was so bad. And also it was really dragged out. It was really dragged out. And I definitely wanted more from this. It needed a lot of work. This felt like a first draft, you know? But yeah, the premise was interesting. I gave it a 2 stars. Next, Vicious. I also gave this a 2 stars. I felt like it had some good scares, but it was nothing else. It was, you know, just that. It was just some scares and then there you go. Okay, and then I watched Companion, and this one I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was really interesting. It's like a sci-fi horror kind of mix. They're basically at a remote cabin and then things go awry, and yeah, there's something very important that I don't want to spoil, even though it's completely spoiled online. But if you haven't seen it yet, I would say go give it a shot. I really didn't like the acting in it though. But yeah, I think it was just a fun movie, and I think it's worth a watch, especially if you like that mix between sci-fi and horror. Then I watched Heretic, which was significantly better than what I thought it would be. It's like this bizarre situation where these girls from LDS come and try and recruit this man, and he welcomes them into his home, and then he gives them like these different choices and whatnot to kind of play with their morals and everything, and then it gets extremely weird. Like I thought, okay, we're over here, but no, we're going over here, and I liked that. It was a bit unpredictable about what was going to happen and what was going on, and I gave this a 4 stars. It was really good, and I would say that if you're into kind of bizarre horror where also religion is involved, like some religious horror, this is not, you know, religious horror, but it's more like a psychological religious horror, because it was all about, you know, morals and what you believe and what you're willing to kind of accept and whatnot. So yeah, interesting movie, and the acting was good, and yeah, I really think that this is a good movie. Next, I finally watched Weapons, which is basically, if you haven't seen it yet, it's where a bunch of kids from this class disappear, in high school, middle school, something like that. They disappear, and then except for one kid in the class, and the teacher's still there. I really loved the like witch hunt aspect of this film. I thought that was great. I also liked the grandma. I have a lot of theories about it, but yeah, I really enjoyed that. The only thing that I didn't really like was that the messaging was really in your face. Like it was really in your face, like, look, we're weaponizing these kids and whatever. Like, I don't know, I just felt like it was kind of a bit overdone, and maybe that's just because I am someone that's in the horror space where, you know, I understand that messaging a bit clearer because I'm used to kind of having to look for the messaging, whereas this was just like kind of so obvious. Like, okay, I get it, you know, I just kind of felt like that. So yeah, I don't know, that was why I gave it a 4 stars, because I just felt like I wanted it a little bit more subtle, but I also enjoyed, you know, the very bizarre, absurd aspects of the film. And then I rewatched Sinners with my boyfriend, gave that a 5 star. If you haven't seen Sinners, go watch it. It is nominated for an Academy Award. And then I also watched Train Dreams with my boyfriend, and I will never forgive him for this, because I mean, we talked about, you know, watching the movies that were nominated for Best Picture, and Train Dreams is the most depressing movie I've seen in a long time. So this is a film all about this man in the Pacific Northwest, and he is doing, you know, a lot of labor work, and, you know, chopping wood and trees and building things, building bridge, etc. And he basically has to leave his wife every season to go and work. And, you know, it's just like all about the devastation in his life and how he kind of deals with that and or not deals with it, and also how that affects him and the people around him that, you know, care about him, but also he's still lonely. I don't know, it was just so depressing, but that's a 5-star for me. Like, it was so sad. So just make sure that you're in a mental headspace for this movie. But yeah, it was incredible. And for me, I think out of all of the movies I've watched, I think this is one of by far the best out of the movies that are nominated for an Academy Award. Thank you so much for watching. I just thought it would be fun to kind of share the movies that I've watched and maybe share some that you maybe haven't heard of. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking these ones out, and yeah, have a good week.